call you.
Wall's micro sausages, sizzling in 60 seconds.
Fact. Not washing your hands properly can mean that whatever you handle, they handle. So trust Dettol's new hand wash, proven to kill 99.9% of bacteria and enriched with aloe vera. It leaves hands feeling soft and moisturised. Dettol protects. Fact.
I want an immediate lift. For me, nothing beats Revitalift.
Step into the future of skincare. L'Oreal Revitalift Double Lifting. On one side, a concentrated taughtening gel with Protensium. On the other, a comforting anti-wrinkle cream with Proretinol A. It immediately tautens skin and reduces the appearance of wrinkles. Double lifting from L'Oreal Paris Revitalift. Now celebrating 10 years of effectiveness, giving women firmer feeling, younger looking skin. Revitalift. Have you tried it?
Me and the Tefal gang have made this beautiful set of pans. And the thermospot is just genius. It tells you exactly when to cook to seal in the flavour.
Jamie Oliver Professional Series by Tefal.
Cookware that moves you. And don't forget your flipping pancakes.
It's a beautiful day. I'm feeling so fine.
Blackberries, blueberries, blackcurrants. Discover the irresistible tang of Special K purple berries.
It's beautiful, oh, what a beautiful day.
New Special K purple berries.
New drama at 10 on 5.
You're being transferred.
What?
Moving you over to Statesville.
Get off me!
It can't end like this.
We got a runner!
Prison Break. New drama, 10 o'clock Monday on 5.
How does persistent sexual arousal syndrome hit your relationship in the bedroom and beyond? Is it the answer to every lover's prayers or a curse from hell? Heather and Jeremy got together after a whirlwind romance 10 years back.
He was 19 when we married and I was 21. Our wedding was really a beautiful day. You know, we were just so in love and we just wanted to get married and just start our lives together.
But little did they know that 3 months later, their world was about to be turned upside down.
How's it affected your marriage, you think?
Oh, in every way. In every single way. I mean, we haven't had what other people have had. I mean, we've had to deal with hard issues, you know. We haven't got to sleep together for years.
90 days into their marriage, and persistent sexual arousal syndrome dealt a savage blow to the young lovers. Suddenly, out of the blue, Heather couldn't even bear her husband's touch, an ironic twist to a syndrome named persistent sexual arousal.
The persistent sexual arousal definitely affected our sex life from the very start. Because if I didn't have the sensations, I didn't want him touching me, I didn't want him to even, make any advances towards sex, because if the sensations were not there, then I didn't want them there.
How do you think that made him feel?
I don't think he felt good about it. I mean, he never made me feel guilty about it. And I think his attitude was just kind of he had to accept it. I mean, what else could he do?
Sex has become such a minefield for Heather, she prefers to sleep on her own.
Where are we going now, Heather?
We're now going to the bachelor pad. This is Jeremy and Jonah's room. I call it the bachelor pad because it's always a mess, for one, and because this is where they hang out and play guitar.
POD. Hold on. Bar chords. Play a D for me. Play a D.
Father and son also sleep together in the double bed for necessity, to give Heather some privacy.
We have a king-size bed, and they sleep in there together, and I sleep at night in my son's room. it started off that way because having only 2 bedrooms, there was really nowhere for me to go to masturbate.
Of course, that can't happen in front of Jonah, you know, so there's the whole sheltering thing. You know, for me, sometimes I want to be like, he needs to sleep on his own. He's 8 years old, for God's sake. You know, he's got to be a man, for God's sake, you know, and I'm a man, and he needs to be sleeping in his own bed, you know, but it's not ideal, but there again, it's for Heather, it's just a necessity.
What husband would think that having a constantly aroused wife means he has to sleep with his son every night?
What do you say to men that say these women that suffer from persistent sexual arousal are every man's dream?
Just typically freaking stupid, because they're thinking of nymphos, basically. They're thinking of women who would love to have sex all the time with them, and, you know, that's probably very rare. Well, just this is too, but this is something completely different. These women do not want the sensations, the persistent sexual arousal syndrome. They hate it. It's caused some women to the point of suicide.
Heather has taken to a daily ritual of sketching in her diaries to cope with the problem of the syndrome. You get an idea of the way she feels through the way she draws.
I just try to draw an example of how I'm feeling in this. You know, my vagina is burning with unwanted sensations, you know, even making her mad. Mm-hmm. But her face is shaded in and kind of hidden because this problem is you know, something that you can't easily talk about, and you basically suffer alone.
But persistent sexual arousal hasn't entirely destroyed their marriage.
Is the Heather that you know now still the Heather that you knew when you first met?
Yeah, she's the same person, absolutely. I mean, a little bit older and fatter, and we're a little bit more ragged and rough around the edges in some ways, appearance-wise, but yeah, I mean, we have something much deeper. It's I think our relationship is not what we can get from one another as much as what we can give to one another.
You know, thankfully here we are. You know, we're going to be married 10 years, and we definitely love each other in a much deeper way, and we know that we can make it through very hard things, you know, and still accept each other and love each other.
It seems persistent sexual arousal syndrome isn't the same for everyone. In Rachel's case, it hasn't killed a healthy sexual appetite. Far from it.
Where are we off to now?
Well, I have something special planned for John for Valentine's Day, and found out about a store called the Satin and Lace, and they sell outfits and underwear and toys and things like that. So I just wanted to go and have a peek and hopefully get something to be able to take off for him for Valentine's Day. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Y'all just have a little bit of everything here.
May I help you find anything?
You know what I'm looking for is little shorts with the ruffly butt.
Sorry?
She saw me coming.
For most of the time, Rachel avoids anything that might trigger her persistent sexual arousal syndrome. But there are some triggers that she doesn't mind being squeezed.
What about your husband? Is he a big trigger?
Yeah. He's the biggest trigger of all. Yeah. We're newlyweds, so we're still very affectionate. And it started off just, you know, him touching me or stuff like that. It's to the point now to where he can take off his shirt, and he'll do it.
But there's going to be no such luck.
Yeah.
But I do have, like I said, I have the black and ruffly butt boy panties.
Oh, you
like
do?
The boy briefs? Yeah, let me show them.
With ruffly butt and
ruffly butt.
Okay.
Not just crotchless, but ruffly butt.
How often do you come to these kind of stores, Rachel?
These kind of stores, not very often. Not as often as I'd like to. Let's put it that way. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and these,
yeah.
Again, slingshot, but very cute.
Whereas most women are like, not tonight, honey, I've got a headache. Yeah, I'm always, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Are you ready for some ranch?
Rachel's husband has a rather lean and tired look to him.
All right.
From the husband who can't get much to the husband who wouldn't mind the odd night off.
I got some shoes.
It's a good thing I have no political ambitions. I called it the horny toad disease. It's a frog out in the southwest that's the horned toad.
What about when she starts jumping on you or chasing you around the kitchen table?
Sometimes that happens and you're like, stop, quit, But it's, I won't say it's odd. It does make for a fun time, because it's not every day that women are aggressive in that way. But, sometimes it's inopportune.
Given the frequency, John can't always rise to the occasion.
How do you feel when he turns you down, Rachel?
At first, I took it so horribly. Oh, my God. Because when you know that there's a way to relieve it and you don't have access to that way, and so your emotions are like all over the place and mood swings and everything else, that I just let my emotions get the best of me. And a lot of times I was in tears. I was like, you don't really want me and stuff like that. And it was probably really hard. Plus it's hard. It was probably really hard to deal with.
What would you say to many men out there who would look at Rachel now and think, she's every man's fantasy?
Well, like I said before, it's a double-edged sword. You think you want it until you've got it.
Jeannie doesn't have a husband to worry about. She's been divorced for 8 years. Her last marriage hit the rocks of persistent sexual arousal syndrome. It was just too weird to explain to her husband, and the relationship went west.
Who's that there, Jeannie?
That's my ex-husband, my little soulmate, and me.
Wow. When was that taken?
It was about 9 years ago. Seems like another lifetime.
You look like a famous country singer.
Yeah. We did some two-stepping. We did some line dancing.
They were good days, were they?
Yeah, they were. They were pretty happy. Never know what can happen in the future. And it was the
persistent sexual arousal that drew you apart?
Well, that's why I left, because I couldn't tell him about it. Yeah. Didn't want to tell him. My whole life is different, period. Used to have a really wonderful husband, and we shared a lot of the same things with golfing and camping, and we owned a boat and would go boating. I really lost my husband over this too, because I couldn't tell him.
Why couldn't you tell your husband?
Well, because I was very, very embarrassed. How was I going to explain it? Because I didn't understand it myself. What am I going to say? Gee, I need orgasms every 10 minutes, and it never goes away, and I don't know why.
Can you ever imagine yourself having a happy, sexually fulfilling relationship? Or is that just a dream?
Where there's life, there's hope.
Jeannie now lives with her son Frank, who's one of the few people she can tell about her condition, whether he likes it or not.
I don't like to get into it too much. It's your mother, but...
He knows the gist of it. He knows the basics of it. We don't talk in detail. I'm not going to... I spare him that, but he knows.
It's your mother. You don't even want to imagine her having sexual organs or anything, But, she started telling me about it, and it sounded bizarre to me. I'm like, whoa, my hands are tied. I just try to make her laugh, seriously, make her laugh when she's down or whatever.
I wish my hands were tied.
Or, Jesus, Christ. Here we go.
That's the kind of joking we do. Tie my hands. Oh, okay.
Jeannie knows that if she's ever going to get her life back, she has to find a cure. Conventional treatment of persistent sexual arousal syndrome involves surgically sealing off abdominal blood vessels, But in America,